Tricell is a conglomerate organization comprised of shipping, natural resources, development, and pharmaceuticals divisions. Tricell's history dates back to the period known as the Age of Exploration. The forebearer to Tricell was Travers Trading, a company owned by the wealthy European merchant Thomas Travers. This company profited greatly from expansive trading with the Orient and laid the groundwork for what would become Tricell's shipping division. Travers Trading entered the 19th century as a profitable trading venture. In the 1800s, Henry Travers, the youngest of 7 siblings, invested much of his own fortune into the exploration of Africa. During this time, the exploits of explorers like David Livingstone were creating quite a stir in the newspapers of the day. Henry's expedition was inspired by these accounts, and his decision was to have a great impact on Travers Trading's future. Henry made 5 expeditions to the African continent in order to explore all of its regions. The extensive funds of the Travers family allowed him to continue his research into Africa, even through times when results were not forthcoming. After his 5th and final expedition to Africa, Henry Travers returned to his home country a full 34 years after he had first left it. Henry compiled the records of his expeditions into an impressive 72-volume set entitled Survey of Natural History. These books covered everything from animals, plants, insects, minerals, and topography to the native inhabitants and their cultures, histories, and traditions. These books also contained extensive records detailing the folklore of various peoples throughout the continent. These tomes were a veritable encyclopedia of the African continent. Henry's survey was published in its entirety, but his meticulous details were viewed as products of creative license and an overzealous imagination. The books were ultimately discredited by the scientific community. Considered to be a novelty item, only a few copies of the entire series were ever published. The shock of being shunned by the scientific community sent Henry into a deep state of depression. He passed away only 2 years after his return from Africa. It is now believed that the heads of Travers Trading at that time, Henry's eldest brother, purposely spread the rumour that Henry's books were nothing more than fiction. The thought being that he did this because he wanted Travers Trading to be the only company that could exploit the information contained within these books. Of particular interest was the topographical information contained in volumes 17 through 24. By the end of the 19th century, Travers Trading had begun to exploit the mineral resources of Africa. All over the continent, the company was mining for precious metals and developing oil and natural gas fields. Meanwhile, the company's profits continued to soar. These operations formed the basics of Tricell's Natural Resources Development Division. Travers Trading built a firm foothold in Africa, and beginning in the mid-20th century, they had begun to actively collect samples of plants, animals, and insects. Henry's books were instrumental in guiding these endeavors. The collected specimens were used in pharmaceutical research, and before long that research brought commercial success and the subsequent founding of Tricell's Pharmaceuticals division. Travers Trading was the basis for the shipping division. The Natural Resources Development Division was born from the information contained in Henry's journals. The specimens obtained from the African fauna were used to create the independent Pharmaceuticals Division. By the 1960s, these 3 divisions of Travers Trading were firmly established, and they formed a conglomerate under the name Tricell. The Travers family, however, were not the only ones privy to the knowledge of Henry's journals. Umbrella's founder, Oswell E. Spencer, was interested in them for the folklore recorded therein. Of particular interest were the accounts of the Neapia's rituals. Spencer hypothesized that the flowers used in their rituals held significance, and this ultimately led to the discovery of the progenitor virus.